Alright, Dave at the Game Thing here, and diving straight into this, here is my opinion of the latest version of Warzone Mobile, and this is based on having played it for a few hours now on my Red Magic 9 Pro, which is a fantastic gaming phone for Android and is one of the best things that you can play Warzone Mobile on. So to start off with, I am not at all happy with the graphics performance. So what it is, I am not reaching my normal 60 frames per second frame rate when playing over HDMI from my Red Magic to my gaming monitors. Now the thing is with that, I always use the same settings, and they are basically everything on full except for shadows, which is on low, and then I have bloom switched off. So I'm using the exact same settings that I would have done on the previous version of Warzone, but now I am dipping right down even as low as 50 frames per second with the same settings. Now I am also seeing a lot of aliasing problems as well, which is basically those jaggedy edge things that you see, which people sometimes refer to as jaggies. Well, the thing is with that, I'm seeing tons of it on the Nuketown map. Now don't forget, Nuketown is not necessarily a new map to Call of Duty or anything, but it's definitely a new map to Warzone Mobile, and that one is particularly bad as far as anti-aliasing is concerned. And I have also noticed a lot of graphics differences in general across all of the maps, and that doesn't matter whether it's multiplayer or battle royale. I seem to be seeing, like, you know, well, basically worse graphics compared to the previous version of Warzone. And then moving on to audio as well. I mean, what is going on with the audio? This is almost as bad as playing Warzone on the PS5, where loads of stuff goes missing out of the stereo mix, and you can't even identify certain things within the stereo field, which makes it really difficult to identify positions for things if you're using your stereo imaging as a way to identify things that are going on within the game. Now, the thing that I've noticed here is that there is hardly any atmospheric sounds whatsoever in the mix. Now this is not me having, like, you know, my mix levels for various aspects of the audio all mixed all over the place. This is actually having all of the audio elements set to 100, and basically the mix itself is absolutely terrible. It just feels like there's a lot of stuff missing from within the audio spectrum of the game, so it does feel very empty sounding. And like I said, there's a lot of the atmospheric stuff that just isn't in there. I mean, things like footsteps don't seem to be correct and stuff like that. So this whole thing with the audio and levels being really weird, or indeed stuff missing, and the atmospheric stuff is just shot to bits, this just definitely means that, like, when you're playing with headphones, you're having a real tough time at identifying things within the stereo field. And I'm quite sure that there's a lot of players out there who play with headphones on for the obvious reason of you use that stereo imaging to identify things within the gameplay. Now, I haven't read anything to do with the patch notes or the release notes, but why have all the rankings gone back to 0 again? I don't understand what that's about. Have I missed something dead obvious here? Is this a dead obvious thing to do with the game? It's just that I've been playing this game right back from the early start of the beta phase for it, and this never happened going from even the beta into the full release. So I don't know what's going on there, why all of, like, you know, your rankings have suddenly gone down the toilet. And then that also leads me onto the weapons. Now, once again, I may have missed a point on something here. Maybe there's something in the release notes, maybe there's something dead obvious, but I'm just missing the point. And if that's the case, then that's on me. However, loads of my weapons have gone missing. So not only have all of my loadouts been reset, which I do understand was part of this season, but loads of me weapons have gone missing. Now, do they come back after you rank up a bit more? I don't know. I actually don't even know what's going on with this thing, but nonetheless, I've actually paid for a bunch of weapons, and I've obviously also grinded like a mad person and, like, you know, bumped up some of these weapons that I've got, but I just can't seem to find them. Like I say, I might be missing something. It might all be on me, but I definitely can't find them. And likewise as well, a bunch of my skins or characters have gone missing as well, and these were also things that I'd actually paid for. So this is, like, you know, me paying for COD points and then updating things and stuff, or buying things. Why can't I see all of the skins that I've had? Because the thing is, there's like 2 skins that I normally play with, which I personally do like to play with in the game and stuff like that, and they've gone. Now, the last thing I want to mention is the movement system that we've now got in Warzone Mobile, which I believe is something that's come from Black Ops 6. Now, this is that new Omni system, which gives you a lot more control, or directional control, over your player and stuff. This is where you can do all those kind of crazy back movements and kind of like, you know, drop movements and stuff like that. So whilst I can see that this is going to be something that's going to be very useful once people learn how to use it, the problem is I don't know if this is favouring either touch players or controller players, because I play on controller, and so far the actual movements feel a little bit weird. They don't feel intuitive to actually make the moves, and also I'm getting what I think is a little bit of lag as well. Now, that's not lag as in like game lag or controller lag, because I was never getting those things just before the update. But what it feels like now is that to make similar movements to what I would normally make, it feels like they're taking ever so slightly longer to do. Now, of course, with stuff like that, that's going to properly impede your gameplay, because it's down to the split second as to whether or not you're going to get the drop on somebody. And if your movements are not actually being as fast as what you would normally have them be, yeah, that can be a serious problem. Now, like I say, I don't know as to whether or not this omni movement thing is something that is going to favour touch or controller players, or whether it's just meant to even the whole thing out. But it would be good to hear from touch players as to like how you're perceiving this new system, and does it feel like it's maybe a little bit slower for you as well, because it most certainly feels a little bit slow for me on controller. Okay, so to summarise then, and the bottom line is, I'm not really a huge fan of what's gone on to do with this update for Warzone Mobile. I appreciate we have to keep moving forward with certain things, and the addition of certain stuff is meant to be able to get the game to like become better and stuff, or maybe the game adapts as we go through it and stuff. However, it just feels to me as if like there's been certain things added to the game unnecessarily, which have basically taken away from the game. And I think more so is probably this audio issue. It really is very bad as far as I'm concerned. Now, will this all get better as we move through the season? I don't know. And there are obviously things within the release notes where it's saying that there are going to be new things introduced into the season as it develops. And also the release notes do say that certain things have been taken away for now, which will come back. But just right from the get-go here, it just doesn't feel like a good move to me. Now, I will be doing a lot of gameplay stuff now with this new season, and a lot of that will be done on my iPhone 16 Pro Max and also my M4 iPad Pro. Maybe the Apple devices are maybe a bit better with it, I don't know. However, the one thing that I can say as far as Android is concerned, with my Red Magic 9 Pro, which uses the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which, don't forget, as of the time that I'm doing this video, is still the most powerful Snapdragon processor currently available. We have still not got onto the latest Snapdragon processor release properly yet. So right now, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is still the most powerful Android processor out there, and I'm just not feeling it. Anyways, let me know in the comments section below what your thoughts are on this. Do you like this new update, or are you like me and you're finding it to be a little bit weird? I'm Dave at The Game Thing. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.